성공하는 사람들이 가진 기술 중 하나는 시간 관리입니다. 평범한 사람들에게는 시간 관리라는 개념 자체가 익숙하지 않습니다. 일상과 연결짓거나 돈과 관련된 생각으로 바꾸기 어렵기 때문일 겁니다. 여기 모아놓은 돈이 살아갈 시간보다 많은 사람이 있습니다. 시간에 대해 그 어떤 누구보다 제대로 된 대답을 할 수 있는 사람 중 한 명이죠.
Does anybody here feel like they have too much time? Okay, nobody. Excellent. Very, very bad at dealing with time as a commodity. We're really good at dealing with money as a commodity. Very few people equate time and money. Well, how much is your time worth an hour? Or if you work at a company, how much is your time worth to the company? And if you divide that by your hourly rate, you begin to get some sense of what you are worth an hour.
이 사람은 최장 6개월의 시한부 판정을 받았는데요. 마지막 강의가 화제가 돼서 오프라 인프리쇼를 비롯해서 각종 매체에서 인터뷰를 하기도 했습니다. 바로 랜디 포시 교수입니다. 한 가지 확실한 건 유명 인사가 되고 바쁜 인생을 살았다고 해서 스스로 시간 관리의 달인이라는 생각을 해본 적은 없었을 거란 점입니다. 시한부 판정 후 3개월 12일째 되는 날, 랜디 포시 교수가 시간에 대해 강의한 내용입니다. 첫 번째, 시간 관리는 인생 구조 조정이다.
But the problem is systemic, and you really need systemic solutions. So a time management solution that says, oh, I'm going to fix things for you in the next 24 hours is laughable, just like saying I'm going to cure hunger in Africa in the next year. You need to think long-term, and you need to change fundamental underlying processes because the problem is systemic. We just have too many things to do and not enough time to do them. Not just about time management. That sounds like a kind of a lukewarm. How about not having ulcers? Right? That catches my attention. So a lot of this is life advice.
우리는 모두 죽지만 언제인지는 모릅니다. 시한부라는 것은 언제 죽을 것인지 정확히는 아니라도 대략적으로 어느 정도 시간 후인지를 예측할 수 있습니다. 랜디 교수는 말합니다. 성공한다고 시간 관리를 잘하는 것이 아니지만 시간 관리를 잘하면 성공한다. 무엇보다 자신만의 시간을 무자비하게 지켜내라.
So ask, why am I doing this? What is the goal? Why will I succeed at doing it? And here's my favorite. What will happen if I don't do it? Now, how do you keep these unimportant things from sucking into your life? You learn to say no. A big thing about time management is find your creative time and defend it ruthlessly. Spend it alone, maybe at home if you have to. Defend it ruthlessly.
자신만의 시간을 지켜내는 것은 숨 돌리고 휴식을 취하며 시간을 보내는 것이 아닙니다. 더 꽉 차게 살되 정말 의미 있고 중요한 것에 몰입하는 삶을 말하는 겁니다. 남들보다 죽음이 가까이 온 것을 느꼈던 랜디 교수도 죽음이 아닌 삶에 포커스를 맞추고 있었습니다. 심지어 시간 낭비를 막는 법까지 알려줍니다.
This is just prime time to be wasted. So what I always taught my students was make up a fake class. The fake class is go to one specific place in the library during that hour, and when you're sitting there with just you in the library and your books, there's a pretty good chance you might actually study. So don't go and hang out with friends for an hour, just make that a fake class. Make your own little study hall. It's a simple trick, but it's amazing how effective it is when somebody just explicitly does it. As you push on the time journal stuff, you start to find that you don't make yourself more efficient at work. You become more efficient at work so you can leave at 5 and go home and be with the people that you love. People call this work-life balance. I worked fewer hours after I got married and I got more done. And I was always fascinated in graduate school that the people who graduated fastest with their PhDs were the people who had a spouse and kids.
저는 결혼에 관심 없고 그냥 혼자 인생 즐기면서 끝까지 쫓기지 않고 살 거예요. 존중합니다. 하지만 이 말은 어쩌면 내 시간은 소중하지 않은 것처럼 말하는 것과 같습니다.
I'm like a single guy and I got all the time in the world, and that's the problem. I approach it like I got all the time in the world, so my time isn't precious. When you got a spouse and little kids, your spouse is likely to say things to you like, you better not be in at that grad school more than 40 hours a week. So when you come in, you're not sitting around playing computer games. I mean, we were playing for real stakes now, because now there are people whose lives are impacted if I'm spending too much time at work.
두 번째, 미루기입니다. 일을 미루는 것과 관련된 많은 글이나 강의들을 접해보셨을 겁니다. 하지만 미루기와 관련한 어떤 지식도 랜디 교수의 한마디보다 강력하지 않을 겁니다.
That doing things at the last minute is really expensive. And it's just much more expensive than doing it just before the last minute. So if you're doing something and you can still mail it through the US mail, you have suddenly avoided the, oh my God, I've got to do the whole FedEx thing. FedEx supports our whole universal habit of procrastination. You have to realize that if you push things right up to the deadline, that's where all the stress comes from.
세 번째, 시간 관리를 해야 하는 진짜 이유입니다.
Here's some of my most important advice. We close with some of the best stuff. Kill your television. Average American watches 28 hours of television a week. That's almost 3/4 of a full-time job. So if you really want to get time back in your life, you don't have to kill your television, but just unplug it, put it in the closet, and put a blanket over it. Turn money into time, do whatever you need to do, exchange money for time at every opportunity, then you'll probably have a lot more time to spend with the ones you love. And that's important. Time is all we have. And you may find one day you have less than you think. Thank you.